Hi everyone, this is Leach. Today I will be demonstrating how to paint jellyfish on a black watercolor paper. Something like this. So the tutorial notes are already out. They've been released on Instagram and Facebook. You can go there to take a look, and Facebook has a printable version of it. But this tutorial was covered much earlier using watercolors on white watercolor paper. You can also try this if you don't have black watercolor paper. I may be reposting these videos and the tutorials as part of the hashtag Stay Home campaign to help people pass their time while we ride out this COVID-19 situation. So in the meantime, we shall be trying to use black watercolor paper. If you don't have any, you can get these from Overjoyed. I got some samples from them, but I'm not being sponsored to say anything I don't believe in this video. So I like these papers. I like the white ones, the normal ones. It comes in cold press and rough, and I use it for my class for practice. But this is the first time I've used a black version. And what's special about the black version is that you'll see that it's got both a cold press surface and a rough surface. So I'll show you what the cold press looks like. Yeah, it's just slightly textured, how, you know, Clairefontaine Atavor paper usually looks like in the front. But on the back, you see that it's a little rougher. I find that really interesting, and so maybe we'll try to do the jellyfish on both textures and see if that affects the work. I think one of the main things that deterred me from buying a black paper is the thought of having to buy more materials, specialized materials, just to work on a black surface. I spend a lot of money on materials, and these days I tend to go for things which are more versatile or that have more than one function. And so black watercolor paper in my mind didn't fit the bill. But now that I've done these tutorials, I'll show you how I managed without buying anything extra. This is the set that I use most, which is the 24 color pen set from Schminker. I use it for work, and I use it for my book illustrations and for whatever teaching that I do. So this is what I use. But for this project, I couldn't use this because I don't have a white in it. And usually I dissuade students from using white because it's much more refined to reserve the white of the paper for watercolors. But in this case, because the paper is black, white is actually pretty useful. This is the 48 set by Schminker. I don't use this as often. This really is a sample set for my students to try. And what's nice about the set is that it's got lots of fancy colors, and it's got a gold and a silver and some whites. These colors are important for this project because they help the paint to stand out on the black surface. So in particular, the silver was great because silver shimmer can be changed to whatever shimmer you like, a pink or a green or a yellow or a purple shimmer, just by adding any of the other watercolors into the silver. I think a big tip is two things. One, which white are you using, and which other colors are you using? So in general, we're actually trying to go for the more opaque watercolors. You'll see that this is the square symbol that is on the tube or perhaps in the brochure, and the square symbol should be fully colored if you're looking for an opaque paint. So what happens is that with an opaque paint, it tends to stand out a little more on a dark surface, and it covers the surface. So for example, between these two whites, this is a titanium white and this is a Chinese white. Titanium white will be more opaque than a Chinese white or a zinc white. Therefore, if you want more coverage, you would probably be better off choosing a titanium white. Or let's say you want to add color to your shimmer, and you're not using an opaque paint like a cobalt turquoise or a cadmium sort of color. Maybe you're using something transparent like a phthalo blue or a helo turquoise. So if you're using these ones, you may have to add a white in. If not, it's not going to stand out as much on your paper.